Now, members of the jury, the duties of counsel in the court have been performed. The court has instructed you regarding the rules of law which should govern you in your deliberations. The case has been argued by counsel. The time has now come when the great burden of reaching a just, fair, and conscientious decision of this case is to be thrown wholly upon you, the jurors selected for this important duty. You will not be swayed by sympathy, prejudice, or passion. You will be very careful and deliberate in weighing the evidence. I charge you to keep your duty steadfastly in mind and, as upright citizens, to render a just and true verdict. You are to decide only whether Kayle Fleischauer is guilty or not guilty of the offense charged. Any consequences of your verdict are matters for the court alone to decide and must not affect your deliberations. The following two forms of verdict will be submitted to you concerning the charge against Kayle Fleischauer. The first reading: we, the jury, duly impaneled as our verdict in the above captioned matter, find Kayle Allen Fleischauer guilty of second-degree reckless homicide, contrary to Section 940.06 of the Wisconsin statutes, as charged in the information. The second reading: we, the jury, duly impaneled as and for our verdict in the above captioned matter, find Kayle Allen Fleischauer not guilty of second-degree reckless homicide, as charged in the information. It is for you to determine, ladies and gentlemen, which one of the forms of verdict submitted you will bring in as your verdict. This is a criminal and not a civil case. Therefore, before the jury may return a verdict which may legally be received, the verdict must be reached unanimously. In a criminal case, all 12 jurors must agree in order to arrive at a verdict. When you retire to the jury room, select one of your members to preside over your deliberations. However, the presiding juror's vote is entitled to no greater weight than the vote of any other juror. If you need to communicate with the court while you are deliberating, send a note through the bailiff signed by the presiding juror. To have a complete record of this trial, it is important that you communicate with the court only by a written note. If you have questions, the court will talk with the attorneys before answering, so it may take some time. You should continue your deliberations while you wait for an answer. The court will answer any questions you have in writing or bring you into the courtroom and answer them orally. When you've agreed upon your verdict, have it signed and dated by the person you have selected to preside. After that happens, the following will occur. The presiding juror will notify the bailiff that a verdict has been reached. Everyone will return to the courtroom. The verdict will be read into the record in open court, and at that time, the court may ask each of you individually whether you agree with the verdict as announced. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, this jury panel consists of 14 members. However, only 12 jurors will now participate in the deliberations and render a verdict. Given the fact that this was a multi-day trial spanning 2 weeks, the court included 2 alternate jurors in the event one or more jurors became unable to complete this trial. The court thanks all of you for your attention, your diligence, and your dedicated participation. Your commitment to this very important process is to be commended. You have provided exemplary service and fulfilled your responsibilities as conscientious citizens of St. Croix County. Given the above, at this time it is necessary for the court to dismiss 2 jurors and reduce the panel to 12 jurors who will then deliberate and decide this case. This morning I asked the clerk to randomly tumble the name of all 14 jurors. From that randomized list, the jurors identified as numbers 13 and 14 on that list will at this time be identified and excused. The alternate jurors will be excused and not participate in the deliberations and final phase of this trial. With the sincere thanks of the court, Mr. Fleischauer, Mr. Kaiser, Ms. Ellenwood, Ms. Montgomery, and Mr. Gray, at this time the court will excuse the following jurors. Jurors Rose Leary, and Juror Joshua Beer. A court security officer will at this time escort you out of the courtroom. Thank you for your time and attention. For the balance of the panel, ladies and gentlemen, you will take the instructions which I provided to you, and you can use those during your deliberations. And the bailiff at this time will be sworn and then escort you out to begin the process. Thank you.
Do you swear that you will, to the utmost of your ability, keep all jurors sworn on this trial together in some private and convenient place, subject to the direction of the court, until they have agreed upon their verdict or they are discharged by the court, and that you will not, before they render their verdict, communicate to any person the state of their deliberations or the verdict they have agreed upon, so help you God. All rise.
Bring your instructions.
Be seated. Any objections to the court's reading of the instruction, Mr. Kaiser?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Gray?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. As everyone knows, because this is a criminal case, Mr. Fleischauer must be present at any time I field questions or provide any exhibits or other information to the jury. I'm not prohibiting anyone from leaving the building, but you have to be within no more than 2 to 3 minutes call time if we receive questions or if we receive a verdict. So if you want to leave numbers with my clerk, you can do so, and she will communicate accordingly. Also, if you want to clear out the courtroom, that likewise I think would be appreciated by security as well as by custodial staff. And when we get a verdict or get questions, we'll reassemble and address them accordingly. Thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.